Statistically, there's not a very good chance, but please try. Our next speaker, Nadine from MTN, she was on the stage a little earlier in the panel, as you saw. And the conversation or the chat she's going to have with us is Revolutionizing the African Telecommunications Landscape with Zigi the Chatbot. It's Zigi, not Zigi. Zigi, okay, cool. Please give her a warm welcome. Thank you so much, Nadine. Thank you.
Perfect. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I'm Nadine here again, and I have the after lunch slot, so I hope everyone's awake and not, wanting to take a lunchtime nap, but hopefully I'm interesting enough that you stay awake. So today I'm going to be talking about our MTN Group chatbot named Zigi and how we've been implementing Zigi across our markets across Africa. We'll first just touch on about MTN Group. I think everyone knows MTN SA, but not many people realize the extent of our footprint and the landscape of our customers. Then, as I mentioned, our customers, who are our customers, and then we'll go into Zigi. Who is Zigi, and what has our journey been with Zigi thus far? So MTN Group, so it's not just about the Boza network and Yellow Summer. We are the leading telecoms operator in Africa. We're almost a 200 billion rand business with 292 million subscribers across our footprint, which is 20 markets, 18 of them being in Africa. And we're really led by our belief statement, which is everyone deserves the benefits of a modern, connected life. And this is really the statement that a lot of us, it pushes us to wake up in the morning and get to work, whether it's at the office or in our home offices. And it's really what keeps us going and guides our efforts every day. Supported by our strategic intent statement, which is leading digital solutions for Africa's progress. And I think the key words there are very fitting to what we're talking about today. So, as I mentioned, we're a top brand in Africa. We have a customer base of almost 300 million subscribers, 140 million of those which are data subscribers, as in actively using mobile data. Our definition is above 5 megabits of data in a month period. But of course, the average data usage per user is actually much more than that. Just touching on our fintech business as well, our base of 60 million subscribers there on our Momo business offer. Then I mentioned our strategic intent and belief statement. This is really centered on our Ambition 2025 framework, which was developed in 2020. And this framework also guides the initiatives that support the strategic intent to lead digital solutions for Africa's progress. We have 4 key strategic priorities, and today talking about Zigi really fits under the building the largest and most valuable platforms for Africa. And of course, the vital enablers. So for me, the focus that I have is on leading customer experience, and you would have seen that come through in our panel earlier with my colleague Irshad. And then, of course, any strategic framework needs to be underpinned with core values that guide the way of work and the culture that we have. So leading digital solutions for Africa's progress, building the largest and most valuable platforms, and then leading customer experience and providing technology platforms second to none. This is really the top-down view of what has guided our Zigi, the chatbot. So that 300 million customer base, who are they? How do they engage with us as MTN? This really varies across our markets, and instead of me telling you about it, there is a short video of our customers, one from Nigeria, another from South Africa and Uganda, just to give you an idea of who we're actually serving.
My name is Fiona Emmanuel. I'm 20 years old. I live in Lagos State.
My name is Noma Lungelo. I'm 30 years old. I live in Diepsloot.
I'm Nasonko Betty Mitala. I live at Kanyanya and I work at Imperere.
Me and my brother, we are in Lagos also in order to come somebody in future to help our family.
My husband told me that he does not have money for school fees. I cried for 2 weeks. After that, I said I can manage.
For now, I just work 2 days as a housemaid, doing washing and cleaning the house.
I'm a security man. In a month, I earned 27,500.
A month, like, I got 1,600 salary.
I have just started the shop. The profit is around 50,000 every day. I use at around 1,050 a day on airtime and 500 on bundles.
I spent 1,000 naira on data monthly. Also with airtime, 800 naira monthly.
Maybe a month, I put 40 something to 50 rand.
And chat with my children on WhatsApp.
I like WhatsApp too much. WhatsApp calling. I use the whole day, the whole night. But I delete my Facebook. Because Facebook eats too much money. If I recharge, airtime is going fast.
I always use Facebook to chat with my family and my friends. Also with Instagram and Hangout.
Everything I want to buy, I just call and tell my suppliers, you bring me beans, 50 kilograms, soya, like that. Then they put them on a border and I pay them using mobile money because it saves time and it is easier. That's how MTN has helped me.
MTN is helping me because when I'm recharging, they give me some free minutes to call some people. My sister's friends, whatsoever, tell him, if you hear anyone needs someone, please tell me. Just if there is a job, the phone helps me to find a work.
I use MTN Land to transfer money to my family and my brothers, and their network is very faster. The MTN really helped me a lot.
Okay, so the customers we serve, across Africa, we have tough conditions, as everyone knows. We're looking at stats where only about 40% of the people on our continent have access to drinking water in their homes, about 50% to electricity, and internet usage is at about 43%. So these are tough conditions, and now we're talking about AI, conversational, generative AI. But actually, conversational and generative AI does have a growing presence in Africa amidst these conditions that we operate in. So it's really about understanding how do we make AI work for the customers that you just saw in that video. You heard they use WhatsApp, they use Facebook. These are all channels for chat and chatbots. So that is really the sort of guiding thought that leads us. So, meet our chatbot, Zigi. So, Zigi was born in 2020 officially, so that was a few years ago. And, it went through, we went through extensive brand research and even voting across the company on what the name of our bot should be. I believe there was Sunny. I actually voted for Sunny. But Zigi came out the clear winner. And Zigi really is our virtual MTNer, who is an eager-to-please virtual agent for our customer. Zigi is gender neutral. And, when we did the research, Zigi's personality and character traits were determined and built into the bot that we implemented across our market. So some of the character traits, Zigi is always in a good mood, but never annoying or insincere, intelligent but not condescending, an MTNer, but most importantly, never pretends to be human, acknowledges that I am an AI bot. I'm not pretending to be an agent. And then some of the personality traits as well. Ziggy is optimistic, bold, exciting, fun, sincere, and this comes out in the copy of Ziggy when engaging with customers on the conversational and generative AI. The mission for Ziggy, it's quite simply to help customers find solutions to their challenges in a manner that aligns or is supported by the character traits and personality traits of Ziggy. So helping customers in a fast, relevant, and educational manner that is also pleasant for the user and not too onerous. In terms of Zigi and our presence up to date, Zigi is live on multiple channels across our markets, which Zigi is live in 7 markets to date commercially, and we have a number of pipeline markets that are in development at the moment. Our channels include WhatsApp, Facebook, our MTN app itself, web, Telegram, and there are a few in the pipeline as well. And Zigi is also multi-language, and we have, as mentioned earlier, we are working on building in the more local languages. So positioning Zigi in MTN. So it has been a long journey, delayed by the pandemic, of course, but MTN is in a unique space. When we talk to our markets, they say, actually, why do we need this bot? We're not ready for it. We have USSD for self-service, and we have live chat with an agent where people, can chat if they want to. So why do they actually need a chatbot? So we really had to work hard on positioning this for our markets, and that included understanding the comparison between these 3 channels. Chatbot is web-based, USSD is not, which means that people not connected to the internet can use USSD. Chatbot, an advantage is it's not just for MTN customers like USSD, it's for everyone that wants to engage with MTN. And there are a few other comparative advantages that we needed to communicate. The fact that USSD is quite limited, it's text-based, limited string, whereas Chatbot is multi-mode communication. We have an unlimited number of interactions that you could have at any time with customers, and also you can build in emotion and tone for that deeper conversation and connection with the customer. Also, in terms of the complexity of queries that these channels can handle, of course, we're here for generative AI. We know that the complexity of generative AI, or the amount of complexity generative AI can handle is actually increasing as we learn and we go by. And then, of course, the level of personalization. So really positioning this across our markets and building the case for Zigi was very important. And ultimately, across MTN and in the telecoms landscape in Africa, there is still a place for USSD. There is still a place for live chat, but there is also a place for chatbot. And actually, chatbot is the channel that offers the most potential in terms of creating that deep connection and really rich digital experiences for customers. So our journey thus far, we followed a 4-phased approach to deliver Zigi across the markets I mentioned, and what we're currently doing to deliver Zigi in more markets. So firstly, build. So focusing really on getting the platform live and working. So what are the priority customer channels, as in what are the channels that customers are using mostly for chat, whether it's WhatsApp or Facebook, and this differs. Hello? Okay. So while the slides are coming up, I'll just continue talking. So the first phase was build, so identifying the top channels for chat and the top use cases that customers are actually calling into the call center for, getting those live. Then the second phase is to mature. Aha, there we go. Okay, and then just on the build side, this was mostly menu-based bots rather than conversational. So it was, customers would fill in forms, or if they have a touch screen, simply select the option that they wanted. So very basic, but that was step 1. Step 2 was, okay, step 2 was mature. And the second phase, mature, was really about advancing the technology behind Zigi. So moving from menu-based to now introducing NLU and becoming more conversational. And then the third step, become great, was about scaling this and really building on to that conversational element, building on more use cases, more channels where relevant, and scaling Zigi in the market. Okay, let's see if this works now. Not working. Yeah. And then our last phase was AI first, and here it's ensuring it's about really it's about the next level of advancement on technology where we're using generative AI to. Okay, now I need the clicker. Thank you. Sorry about that. Okay, and then the fourth phase, AI first. So this is where, AI is driving all interactions on Zigi. It's connected to a mature data architecture and, of course, continuously learning as we go, which is the approach we've taken as well across these four phases, where when we introduce or move up a level from menu-based to conversational to generative AI, we've really employed a mindset of testing first, rapid testing, experimentation, and then scaling. So across these four phases, where are our markets? So we're not doing this on our own. We're in partnership with AI leaders to actually, experts in the field to help us along this journey. So we have Sudan and Liberia, who are still in the build phase. They did launch last year, actually, but given the operating conditions, they're very much still menu-based, but there is good usage on the bot that we're seeing there. On the mature side, we have Ghana, South Africa, Uganda, and Cameroon that have now moved on to conversational AI, where NLU has been introduced, and then become great. And between AI first, I would put our top market there, Nigeria. And that's because Nigeria is our first market where we've gone live with a form of generative AI. So moving on from conversational AI. Okay, and then how are customers actually using Zigi? So for now, it's mostly on basic use cases, and you'll see the split between basic, intermediate, and complex types of queries or use cases on the bot. And when I say basic, this is really because these are those high volume transactions that people were using on USSD and call centers, such as what is my data balance, for example. And then moving on to intermediate, that's slightly more complex, sharing data, asking about a data loan. And then on the complex side, in South Africa, for example, it's collections on postpaid contracts, it's complaint tracking, it's a varied range of use cases that we have available. And as a function of where customers are, you'll see that they're quite comfortable using the bot for those easy use cases. What is my data balance? Also, FAQs are a big one. We're seeing how they're moving from intermediate to complex, getting more comfortable with the bot. In terms of performance as well, we look at agent containment ratio. So what this is, it's a percentage of queries on the bot that is handled end-to-end by the bot itself without having the need to hand over to an agent where the bot does not know what to do. And industry benchmarks right now say that best practice is 70%. We're at a range of between 70% to 80%, with Nigeria being on the higher end of that, which means that our bot is handling 80% of the queries that customers are coming to it for, which is quite impressive. And then throughout our journey, we've picked up on drivers. Even with our engagements with industry leaders and our research, there are certain features that customers respond positively to, and you'll see that in their customer experience scores as well when they engage with the bot. And there are a few. So as I mentioned, those high volume use cases first. What do customers actually need MTN for? Check balance, what is my airtime balance, such as that. And then, customers have also responded positively to the continuous improvement that we've built on the conversational side and now on with the generative AI, especially in Nigeria, with customers feeling happier about the fact that the bot can pick up their questions and answer it relevantly. Customer incentives, of course, as with any new digital channel, you need to build that behavior. So give them an incentive for coming onto the bot, exclusive offers on the bot. And then just to pick on a few, contextual memory and building in a chain of thought. So it actually does feel like a conversation and not something that's now timed out and you have to start all over again. Clarity over personality is a big one. As much as we spent a lot of time understanding the personality behind Zigi, the personality should not be a way to confuse the customer when they're dealing with Zigi. We got the feedback that sometimes there's too many emojis and customers don't know what's going on. So clarity over personality. Don't let personality overpower what the customers actually need. Conditional fallback mechanisms. This was really important so customers are not stuck in a loop of, sorry, I can't help you, sorry, I can't help you, and really just enabling a back button or main menu button just to be super tactical there. And progressive disclosure. We've seen that customers actually do not want to see this long paragraph of the steps they should follow to register for home broadband, but actually shorter messages split between different sort of texts help customers. And then you'll see our little snapshot there from MTN Nigeria. We've also built in Zigi answering unrelated questions, such as, I love you, Zigi. And you can see the bot saying, thank you for your kind words, but I'm an AI language model. And there's other questions and answers that have also been built in, because I know people just love to play with platforms as soon as you say generative AI is live. And then some key takeaways. I see I have 2 minutes left, so no one felt sorry for me because of all the technical difficulties. So key takeaways just to conclude, right? And this is, based on the journey that we've been. So number one really is to, experiment first, learn and adjust and then scale. And I say this because that's literally the approach that we've taken. Rapid experiments, test something out on a specific channel. If it works, let's scale it, let's expand it to the other channels and the other markets. And we're doing, that's working well for us at the moment. Number two, there is room for generative and conversational AI in the African space. I'm sure you all agree. But I think some people, get caught up on the only 40% have basic access to water. There's still a lot of problems. Everyone can acknowledge that, but there is definitely room and opportunity to actually solve these problems with these technologies. And we must definitely all keep that in mind when we leave today. And then, not try to do everything yourself. So MTN, we built towers across the continent, right? And now we're transforming from a telco to a techco. But of course, there are gaps. And we've partnered with industry experts to fill those gaps in order to deliver the best platforms to our customers. 4, allow the customers to tell you what you need to do to empower them. It's important to not assume what the customer needs, but rather let the customer tell you. We have a wealth of customer data. Use it and not just go based on intuition or what you thought the customer needed 2 years ago when you were still on a prepaid SIM. And then lastly, appreciate the journey. We're not all going to go from menu-based to generative AI in 2 weeks. There is a journey, and that might shorten as the technology becomes more adopted. But it is a journey, and we've appreciated this so much because working from markets like South Africa to Ghana, Liberia, there's a journey you need to take people on and a journey you need to take our customers on, which includes continuous learning. So I think if you can really extract that continuous learning from the entire journey, it will just be that much more rewarding. So with that, thank you very much.
Nadine, well done under difficult circumstances for keeping your cool. It's such a success story. I've got one question. There we go. I wanted to ask them for the chairs for the panel so long. The one question I wanted to ask you is, what do you wish you knew at the beginning that you know now? But I think that last slide kind of summarized it. Is there anything else you might add that you wish you knew earlier on?
That customers don't really like emojis. Like, you thought, okay, I'm making this more colorful and interactive, but all the feedback is like, there's too many emojis. It's confusing, and we're trying to give customers more in the conversation, more information, but no, they actually just want the answer to their question, and we've learned that now, and we've adjusted for that. Yeah.
It's almost like, don't be super cute, just give me the answer.
Yeah, just don't be exactly.
Cool. Any questions? Let's take one or two for Nadine. If you can just put up your hand. There's a question there. Just wait for the mic, please.
Well done on a great presentation under difficult circumstances, and thank you. You have one of your metrics is that 80% of the people that try to use the bot were successful. Do you have a metric that the number of people you thought could have used the bot? And do you think about it, and how would you improve that metric?
Sure. So we do have a metric showing failed transactions or abandoned transactions, which we didn't put in the deck, but that is something we look at. And I think it's a lot to do with the design of the menu. So in Nigeria as well, they went through a menu revamp where they updated their menu, because as you see, when you look at the failed transactions, we try to see where is it failing, where is the point of failure, and then try to understand why. Like, is it confusing, or is it taking the customer too long to get to what they want before they just abandon it? Why is that happening? And then we build that into the next wave of copy or design that we do.
And what would a lesson be out of that you've gained over that kind of journey?
What would a lesson be?
Would it be a similar thing, like don't be too cute? Is that like...
Don't be too cute, but also, as much as you're trying to make it super easy for the customer because you think this is a brand new technology, the steps to get to the answer should not be more than it needs to be. So what is my data balance? Then it's like, okay, do you also need your airtime balance? Or do you need 30 days, 60 days, 90 days? Sometimes it's just about giving them the answer that they want and then offering them afterwards, okay, this is also what I can give you, rather than having it, have them like go through loops to really get to exactly what they want. Then another thing we've also found is having a back button everywhere and enabling the customer to navigate back to the main menu, because sometimes it seems that they just get lost and then it's like, okay, I'm just abandoning the transaction, whereas they didn't know how to go back to the main menu and actually select what they wanted in the first place. Something else we also learned, which we're trying to build the behavior, is agent handover. In extreme cases where the bot is not serving the customer or they feel like the queries is not there, enabling an agent handover is important, but at strategic places. Some people say you should have it right up front, saying, hey, I'm Ziggy, but here you can chat to a live agent. That's not necessarily the approach we're taking, because we really want to build self-service behavior in customers. So we're enabling agent handover where we're seeing those failed transactions take place.
Fantastic. Let's one quick question, and we're going to get to our panel, if any. I think maybe a comment from my side. It's so important to really learn what your customers want.
Yes.
And I think we are sometimes so siloed in building these things, and we have no idea. We can obviously do some user testing and the like. I always say for my dad, who's now in his 80s, if he can use it, anyone can. And he's a smart man, but the amount of service calls I get from him about why is Netflix not working and stuff. So we should build it for that a variety of people, young people, older people, and so forth. So I think that's important, getting that feedback.
Definitely.
Fantastic. Dean, thank you so much. Let's give her a warm applause. Thank you.